everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm standing outside Stamford Bridge after a 2-1 win against Crystal Palace. Father, mate, I don't know why we've got a happy Crystal Palace fan behind us. I don't know what he's smiling about, but we've got something to smile about, which is the result. Can we take anything out of this game, or is it literally just 3 points, move on?
It's just 3 points and move on. And you know what ironic is? Our first home win in 2023 was against Crystal Palace, would you believe it? And in fact, that is our last home win against Crystal Palace. So basically we beat the two same sides this year alone, first and last. So yeah, I'm happy about it, but again, there's some ropey moments there, especially in the first half. But other than that, I'm happy that we got a win, but it's never easy for us, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I would take more positives out of today than last year when we beat them at home, because at least today we had a desire and a hunger that I just don't think we had last season. Like, people can talk all you want about quality of players. I don't give a shit. If the player doesn't care and doesn't want to be there, how can you support that? So at least I'm seeing effort, but again, effort divides opinions, players and managers divide opinions. This is why it's so great to have fan cams and see what you have to say. I mean, first of all, let's talk about the selection from Poch and your overall thoughts on how he's progressing as a manager. And I mean, do you actually see him getting anything out of this team in the future? Because as it stands, the majority of Chelsea fans are split. There's not really an overriding feeling that he needs to go.
Yeah.
But people aren't fully convinced.
Not fully convinced, but also a big question mark as well in terms of the selection wise. I feel like since the start of the season, I understand what Poch plan is trying to do here, but I feel like he overcomplicated things with the amount of selection that he's done this so far from the first half of his first season at Chelsea. I feel like in the beginning when he put Chilwell as a left wing and then Colwell as a left back, people kind of start asking some question on what is his game management was all about going to the most of the games this season. And the fact that we've got a couple of young players right now, up and coming rising stars like Gusto, and then performing out like the likes of Reece James. It's just a promising sign, but at the same time, you're gonna find a lot of inconsistency with these kind of players because they're still young and they're still developed, and I feel like it's a bit slow development at the same time. But the results wise, it's not going our way, and I understand the frustration of it. And we only have 25 points from 19 games, and we should be higher than that, at least around like 7th place now. And at the moment, we're about 5 points behind the Conference League spot.
Do you think we can actually get European football? Because we can't seem to get any consistency. We win one, we lose one, we win two, we lose two. Where are we going to find the balance?
It depends on the squad itself. It depends on the squad. Poch got to find the right balance of the squad as well, because all I've seen today, when Lavia's come on, I feel like that is where the squad really balanced that really well, because Lavia is that type of player that we've been missing so far this year. He's the one that kind of been that number 6 sitting role behind Caicedo and Enzo and that, and Gallagher in some ways as well. And we need that defensive solidity in the middle, because at times this season it was a bit ropey, but also at the same time it was a bit ratchet or chaotic at times, because there was no coordination or there's no leadership in the middle as well. There's not a lot of voices in terms of the commanding in the middle as well.
I mean, it's a nice way to round out 2023. How would you sum it up?
Up and down. It's been up and down so far this year, and we started a game in 2023 when we drew 1-1 at Forest away, and ever since then, for me, it was kind of like, you know what, I'm just looking forward to the game-to-game basis under Potter, and then you got the January transfer signing, that 10 p.m. Fabrizio Romano, here we go, Enzo Fernandez signing. I thought we was up in the rise, and then after that, it was kind of like went on downhill badly as well, and this is kind of like transition that I feel like this ownership will learn a lot, and I think they will take a lot of hard lesson to learn, because managing a football team is not that easy as it looks. You need to have some sort of organization, not only from the top, but also throughout. And that's why I feel like this season alone, it's going to be a massive test on the ownership testament as well, because at the moment, I'm looking at them in terms of the signing, in terms of the recruitment wise, it hasn't been good enough. And our standards should be up here, and we should be aimed for the Champions League spot. And I've seen some ITKs coming out today about
What?
I've seen some news though.
What's an ITK?
In the nose. I'm gonna spill the beans for you. Even if we lost today, they're not gonna sack Poch. That's what I heard. And also, the reason why they want to sack Poch, because there's not a lot of option out there to get the new manager in. That's what I heard so far.
Well, compared to what we were a year ago, we're not a very attractive side, are we?
That's the thing. No, absolutely not. And I feel like this is why you've got to look at the decision making from the upstairs as well, from the recruitment basis, the players that we've got so far. I feel like I said to you multiple times, since Everton away, we need some ready-made signings to come onto this team, to help out this team to develop into a serious team in the coming years now. At the moment, we've got the youngest squad in the league so far, but how do we gonna develop that squad into that winning side mentality that we've been used to?
Also, I heard today was the youngest starting 11 in our history.
Yeah, that is the correct stats. 21 years of age, to be more precise.
I mean, fucking hell, that is ridiculous.
That's why I said we need some ready-made players. We need some seniority on our team, because at the moment, you look at right now, who's there? Thiago Silva, Raheem Sterling, Reece James out, Ben Chilwell's out. No one's literally like gonna come into our team that can, we need some new leadership in our team as well, because we just can't rely on those kind of seniority players that can, help this team to elevate to the next level. We've got a lot of good, talented players that can be world-class potential, but we just don't know how long is it that's going to take them to that potential. And hopefully next year there's going to be we need to pick up some sort of results next year as well.
Absolutely, Father. Always a pleasure, mate. I'm going to speak to the boys from Norway, the Norwegian Blues. One of you come on my right, one of you come on my left. So, what's your name? Sorry.
Morris.
Morris. How do you feel about today?
Today I feel it was a nice game. Gusto, man of the match for me.
Yeah.
He was really good touches and playing it forward. But I really miss Cole Palmer because he controls the game, and I think he's important for our team.
Do you think he's our best player at the moment?
At the moment, yes, I think. But I really see a potential in Nkunku. I really hope he gets in form, and we'll play Nkunku and Palmer.
Yeah, and Nkunku was great when he came on against Wolves, but for me today, not as good in terms of making an impact. But he was involved in the first goal. I mean, there's so many options for Pochettino when the whole team's fit. So, who would you start as your preferred front three, and then usually there's a number 10 behind that? I mean, who would you like to start?
I would like to start Broy at the top.
Okay.
Really, right now. And I would like Palmer, Nkunku, and Sterling.
Sterling on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about you, Younes? I mean, how do you feel about everything?
I think Broja is very good. I think he is extremely good and strong. So I think he on top, left Mudryk, right Maduike. We see it today. He saves us, and back like the 10 role, and Kuku, and Enzo and Caicedo back.
Why are you a big fan of Broja? Because a lot of people from London aren't really keen on him. Not because he hasn't been playing that well.
He was injured. He had a long injury, I think, and he's strong. We need a strong striker. We need a tank on top. So I think Broja is very good, and you see today he almost scored. And I want Broja to get time to play because I think he's gonna do the job. We don't need Osimhen, we don't need Tony. Give Broja some time, and you're gonna see he's gonna be much better than all the other strikers.
So you don't think we need to buy a new striker?
I don't think so. The problem is not the striker. We need a midfielder. We need a midfielder that can take the ball up. We had Kante, we had Jorginho, we had Kovacic. These players, these control the midfielder. Every club that has good midfielder does good in the league. Manchester City has a good midfielder. Arsenal has. Liverpool. Chelsea. Caicedo loses the ball every fucking time.
But Man City have Haaland and Arsenal have, Martinelli and Saka and all these other players.
Yeah, but they have good midfielder. Declan Rice isn't good.
No, but they didn't have him last year.
Yeah, but they have who?
I get your point. I do understand your point, though. I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, KDB feeds Haaland every time. We need someone who feeds Broja the same.
Need someone to take the ball up. You see today, they play back passes, only back, side to side, left back, right back. They play the back. They play the ball only in the back. They don't get it up. And when they get up, they get it they lose the ball up top. So I think we need a midfielder. Experienced midfielder, that's good. Cesc Fabregas, we had him, he's great.
Okay, we need some creativity, boys.
Ramirez was great. Makelele was great. We need Lampard. That was our best time when we had Lampard. Can't say. Every area we had a good midfielder. Now Caicedo isn't good enough.